Hey folks, welcome to Maverick Gunworks channel. Today I'm going to talk about the Rock Island 1911A2. This is a tactical version. And here you can see, if I get a little closer to the camera maybe, that little Rock Island logo right there. Alrighty, and this one in 10mm, made in the Philippines. And this one being the tactical version, we have a fiber optic yellow front sight, an adjustable rear sight with two white dots. Maybe you can see down there what that sight picture looks like. Okay. And I've never dealt with a 10mm handgun before myself, actually. So I want to thank Ronnie for letting me borrow this thing. It was a customer of ours that we ordered this for, and we were discussing it in the shop the other day. And he told me, he said, "Well, take it out and shoot it. Let's talk about it a little bit." So here we are. We have Rock Island, a fairly inexpensive for the product it is, actually, and does a really good job. From what I could gather, we've sold a lot of these in 45 and 38 Super, and everybody's been really happy with them, especially for the price point. All right, so here we have the typical 1911 controls, and with this one we have the Ambidextrous safety lever, where you've got your safety lever on the right and left side. And as with any 1911, you got to have the hammer cocked, before you can before the safety will be activated anyway. Right. And that being said, a couple other things we can look at before I field strip it for you. This one comes also being tactical version, has the extended mag well, nice little funnel shape here where you can get your magazine in a little easier without having to fumble with it so much. We have really good textured cross checkering on our G10 grips, and this being a double stack, it has a, I believe, 16 capacity, and it is a handful. I like this gun myself because it really fits my hand nicely. I feel like I have something in my hand. It's not your typical, small concealed carry kind of piece. However, that's not what it's meant to be. Okay, this is really a great range gun, and even for hunting, as far as that goes, with a 10mm caliber. All right. And now to take this thing apart, I fabricated for myself a little device that's going to help us a little bit. With this gun, it does not have a barrel bushing in front like typical 1911s. It is, it's a tapered barrel. So to field strip it, we pull it back here and let our slide latch catch. And I have made a small wire here that will help us. All you got to do is take a paper clip and straighten it out. Been a little small hook on the end of it, just a 90-degree hook. And I know the camera's not going to be able to see this, but I'll show you when we get it out. There's a tiny hole in the guide rod. Once you pull the slide back and lock it in place, you can put your little wire into the hole, hold it into the hole there, release the slide. Okay, you let the wire catch your recoil spring so it don't come flying out from you. And we'll just ease it forward a little bit, like any 1911. We're still going to line up our little notch on the frame with the takedown pin, takedown lever in this case. Push it out, right, that comes right out, and now the slide will come right off the front. Okay. And it's a really neat way to take the thing apart. And that being the case, now we pull our barrel back and lock it back in place. We can grab our recoil spring assembly at this point, bring it back, and comes right out, comes out of the frame. Isn't that cool? And then we can pop our barrel out the front, put a barrel link down, and it comes right out the front. Isn't that cool? That's just a little easier than a lot of 1911s are. Some of them can be really frustrating. There's a lot of variations now on the market, but this one comes apart pretty easy. Up until the point that if you wanted to change this or take this apart to clean it, now you're going to have to put this in a vise most likely. Make sure you have a good handle on it, because it is a fairly stout spring in here. But for field stripping and cleaning, it's not necessary. Yep. And typical, we're going to take and do a little solvent patch through our barrel, onto all these surfaces that will have carbon built up on them, or gunpowder residue, all through the slide here. Let our solvent soak for a few minutes, and then we're going to wipe it off and re-lube it. And personally, I like to use something that's synthetic lube, so that it is more tolerable to heat extremes. Same thing with our slide, with our frame here. We're going to clean off all the gunpowder residue and re-lube that. and then to put it back together. All right, I'm going to slide our barrel back in from the muzzle end. All right, bring our recoil spring assembly into the frame. I'll roll it over here and get it in the right direction. All right, now that goes forward. Okay, like that. Okay, and with any 1911, make sure you have your barrel link here down in the position so you can see it when you put it back on the slide, because remember that your takedown pin has to go back into that link to lock the barrel in place. And we can look through the hole and I can see my takedown pin. All right, get the barrel link just right. Here we go. And sometimes you might finagle a little bit. This being a brand new gun, it's a little bit stiff in some places. I got my pin back in place there. Now we're going to pull our slide all the way back to where our notch lines up with a takedown pin slash slide lock. And we pull a slide back and lock it in place, and now the spring comes free. And you can let your slide down now, and here we're ready to go to work again. That cool? Alrighty. Now, that being the case, we also have an adjustable trigger. This is a skeletonized trigger, which gives you a little bit of a less weight in it, and also an adjustment here for for travel, over travel. And I've not done anything to this gun as far as that goes. It's been right out of the box. So let's go ahead and cock it, and we'll do a trigger pull test, see what it feels like. On the gauge here, we'll lock her down, and right at 4 pounds. Okay, and cocking the gun, I'm gonna fill of it here without ammo in it. I've got just a little bit of pre-travel. And it's really nice smooth trigger. It breaks like it should. 4 pounds, not a problem with this particular kind of firearm. Okay, and now tell you what, we're going to load up some ammo. I've got a magazine here with a few rounds in it, and we're going to give it a shot and see what it feels like. Get my ear protection on here. Here we go. Alrighty. Well, I'll tell you what, that's nice. Actually, the 10mm surprised me. I don't believe that's as much recoil as the 45 is. I've shot 45s, not much, and this feels nice. It could be because there's such a good grip on it, but I like the way this thing shoots. And obviously, I've not done anything with the sights. They're right out of the box, and I just hit our little steel plate down there consistently, so that's a good sign. So anyway, make sure we have the magazines out here, and we are completely empty. Well, there you go, guys. That's my take on this Rock Island 1911A2 tactical version. The LFS has a 5-inch barrel and some niceties that come standard from the factory on it. Hope you enjoyed that. If it's something we can help you out with, give us a call at Maverick Gun Works.